Okay, I am here in volume number 2, Google Jamboard. Remember that when finding volume, we can use V equals length times width times height. Or we could use V equals BH, where B is the area of the base, like it says here. B is the area of the prism's base. And so given this rectangular prism, if I wanted to find the volume of, or the area of the base, I would do length times width, right? That would give me the area of the base, and then I would multiply by the height. And so basically, V equals LWH, length times width times height, is the same thing as saying that volume equals area of base times the height. You will see the volume written in both of these ways, but they mean the same exact thing. Okay, right here it says this rectangular prism has 6 faces, right? We have the top one, we can call that 1, and the bottom would be face 2. We have the side faces, let's say this is 3, and let's say this is 4. And we have the front face and the back face. So let's say this is 5, and the back face would be face 6. Okay. We also have vertices. Remember, the vertices are where the faces meet. So they're like the corners or the edges. So we have there's a vertex, there's a vertex, 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 and vertex. Right? So we have 8, not vertexes, 8 vertices. 8 vertices. Okay, so 6 faces, 8 vertices. How many edges? How many edges are there? The edges are where the faces meet. So there's a edge, 1 edge, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we have the one sort of going up. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we have the ones up top. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so 12 edges. So 6 faces, 8 vertices, 12 edges of a rectangular prism. All right, number 2 here, find the volume of this rectangular prism. So let's write the volume. Nope, not A. That would be V, capital V for volume. Volume equals length times width times height. Okay, so our length would be 3. Let's write 3 as a fraction by putting it over 1 because we're going to be multiplying this by other fractions. The width is 2 1/4. Use the C method to make that improper because we're going to be multiplying this. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So this is 9 over 4, right? 9 over 4. So we have length of 3 times width of 9/4. And then we have our height. How tall is this? This is 4.5. By using the C method, I would get 9 over 2, right? 9 halves. I look and see, can I cross simplify? And I can't. So multiply straight across. 9 times 9 is 81. 81 times 3, that would give you 243. On the bottom, 1 times 4 times 2, that would be 8. So I get 243 over 8. And so you need to make this mixed by dividing top by the bottom. Top number 243 divided by 8. So you go ahead and divide this, and your label would be what? Since we did meters times meters times meters, our answer will be meters cubed. Okay? So you figure out what this is as a mixed number, 243 divided by 8, and your answer is that in meters cubed. Number 2, we have some decimals here. Find the volume of the rectangular prism. So let me write the volume like this time. Volume equals capital B, which means area of base, times the height. Okay, so how am I going to find the area of the base? Well, the area of the base is length times width, right? That's what area of base is. And so as you can see, L times W times H is the same thing as capital B times H. Okay, so area of base, the length is 14.1, so 14.1, and the width is 0.1, so 14.1 times 0.1, I'm going to show my work here. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so I've used that one. I don't really need to do a second row because 0 times 1, 0 times 4, and 0 times 1 is all 0. So these are my digits in the answer. And I have how many digits after the decimal? I have 1, 2. So there should be that many after the decimal in my answer. That would be 1.41. So this right here is the area of the base, that is length times width. But I also need to multiply that by the height. So I got to take this 1.41, and I'm going to multiply it by the height of 1.9. So times 1.9. Notice when I'm multiplying decimals, I'm not worried about lining my decimal up. 1 times 9 is 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12. I've used that. Add placeholder 0. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Add. I get 9, 7, 6, and 2. Those are the digits of my answer. And when I multiplied, I had 2 digits after the decimal and 1 more. So that's 3 total. And so in my answer, there should be 3 total digits after the decimal. And so this right here, 2.679, that's my answer. But what's my label? My label is feet cubed. Feet cubed, right? Cubic feet, because volume is in cubic units. Okay, number 3, volume of the rectangular prism. So I could say volume equals area of base times height, or length times width times height. Okay, you plug in the length. The length looks like it's 9.3. The width is 2.5. And the height, how tall is this? This is 4.2. Okay, so you're going to multiply all 3 of these together. So do 9.3 times 2.5 first, the length times the width, and then whatever that is, then multiply by the height. Okay, show your work here so I can see how you're multiplying decimals correctly. And then your label is going to be what? If you multiply feet times feet times feet, you get feet cubed, right? So your answer is some number of feet cubed. Number 4 here, we don't have a rectangular prism. We have a triangular prism. Why is this a triangular prism? Well, because the base of the prism is a triangle, right? This right here is a triangle. Okay, and so just like we calculate the area of a rectangular prism, a triangular prism, we still do volume equals area of base times the height. Okay, now what can be very tricky here is that when you're finding the area of the base, it is a capital B. Notice the capital B here. Area of base is capital B. Okay, now the base is a triangle, right? So when finding the area of the base, we're finding area of triangle. Area of triangle is 1/2 times the base, but it's lowercase b. Lowercase b, okay? This can be tricky. Capital B is area of base. Lowercase b is the base, the length of the base of the triangle. So 1/2 times base times height. And this h is not height of the prism. This h is height of the triangle, because we're finding the area of the triangle to get the area of its base. Okay? So stay with me here. I have area equals 1/2 times the base of the triangle. This right here is the base of the triangle. It is 6. That's base of triangle, 6. 6. Okay, what is the height, not of the prism, the height of the triangle? The height of the triangle is shown right here. This little dashed line right here, it's showing me is 5.2. And so this is the height of the triangle. That's what I'll put in here for height of triangle, 5.2. Okay, so what if I take 1/2 of 6? 1/2 of 6 is 3. Then I'm going to multiply by 5.2. So what's 3 times 5.2? 3 times 5.2, that's going to be 15.6, right? So I have B now. Area of base is this, 15.6. Now I got to multiply by the height. And this is not height of the triangle anymore. This is height of the prism. And the height of the prism is shown right here. The height of the prism is 10. And so what I have here is 15.6 times 10. 15.6 times 10. Now, we've been working on multiplying and dividing by powers of 10. When we multiply, we're going to move our decimal to the right. If we were dividing, I would move my decimal to the left. And so since I'm multiplying, I'd move my decimal right according to how many zeros there are on the power of 10. There's 1 0 on the power of 10 here, so I'm going to move my decimal one place to the right. Multiplying by 10 is the same thing as moving the decimal one place to the right. So 15.6 times 10 will become 156. And what is my label here? I'm finding volume. This is centimeters cubed, right? Centimeters cubed. 156 centimeters cubed. Number 5 here, calculate the volume of the rectangular prism. Okay, so I could say volume equals area of the base times height, or I could do length times width times height, because the base of this is a rectangle, right? And how do I find the area of a rectangle? I would do length times width, okay? So length of 3.5, let me go ahead and use C method to make that improper. 3.5 would be the same thing as 7/2, right? Using the C method, 3.5 is 7/2. That's the length times the width of 4. 4 over 1. Okay, then I'm going to multiply by the height. The height is this thing right here, 5.5. Let's use the C method to make it improper. So this would be 11 over 2. Okay, multiply the numerator since I can't cross simplify. So multiply the numerators. 4 times 11 is 44. What's 44 times 7? Let me go ahead and figure that out real quick. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 2 is 308. So that is my numerator, 308. My denominator, 2 times 1 times 2, that is 4. So I get 308 over 4, which is improper. So let's make it mixed by dividing the top by the bottom. 308 divided by 4, I will leave that to you to figure it out. But be sure you label correctly. We have centimeters times centimeters times centimeters, which would be centimeters cubed. Okay, so you make 308 over 4 a mixed number and label centimeters cubed. Number 6 here, I want you to calculate this, show how you line the decimals up, and if you carried numbers, show me how you carried them. If you borrowed, show me how you borrowed. Number 7, show all your work to find the quotient. Same thing in number 8, and when you've finished and shown all your work, be sure